One of the smartest and safest ways to accumulate wealth is through land asset acquisition. So today I will spend some time talking about land asset acquisition, land asset leverage, and land asset protection. Now, when it comes to land asset acquisition, it's very important for you to understand the primary nature of land and the secondary nature of land. This is what will literally opens your ideas as relates to the scope of possibilities that lies within the land asset acquisition market. And let's look at this briefly. In terms of primary land asset, you have markets like the metal market, the precious metal market, the agricultural market, and you have energy sector. And all of these sectors I've just called represents primary land asset. In the metal market, which is land-based, you're going to find things like copper, lead, aluminum, and nickels. It's important for you to understand this because the global demand for these product types, these land-based product types, are in the trillions of dollars. And you understanding this and you being able to make informed decision in terms of acquiring the land and working the land is what can make a major difference in terms of how you position yourself to cash flow maximize. In terms of the precious metal market, in this market you will find markets like or products like silver and gold and platinum and palladium. Again, the global demand for these product types are again in the trillions of dollars. And the more that you understand about these land-based assets that can be leveraged for significant cash flow maximization, again, here is where you put yourself in that position of strength to make informed, educated decisions as to how you can position yourself to acquire financial freedom. The third level is what we call the agricultural sector. Now in this sector you have cotton, beans, cocoa. You have a range of FMCGs, fast-moving consumer goods, that makes this market also one of the most attractive markets to have in terms of land-based development and leveraging these land-based development into global trade. It's important that you understand this. It's important that as you try to position yourself to build either active income from these land assets or passive income from these land assets, for you to really understand the dynamics within this sector. So again, when you come to Venture Capital Inc., we have a number of financial intelligence master programs that really helps you to understand more about these markets and how you can position yourself to leverage these markets. The last market I will talk about today in terms of the land asset acquisition and primary land asset acquisition is what we call the energy sector. Now this is a very exciting sector, the energy sector. We are seeing countries across the Caribbean right now, because they are proven now to become land-based economies that is rich with minerals, fossil fuels. They are now being strategically positioned and placed as global players in the trade of energy. The energy sector, the oil and gas sector, is a multiple amount of trillions of dollars that is traded here every year. Again, these are sectors that if you spend the time, the talent, and the resources to really understand these sectors and how they work. And you not only understand how it works at a primary level, but you understand how you can cash out in these sectors from a secondary level. And from a secondary level is where you're going to start to really spend some time to understand what is stocks and shares, and what is the global stock exchange market, and what is the Vanguard index, and what is index funds, what is the S&P 500, and how you can position your investment to give you positive cash flow. Again, at Venture Capital Inc., our programs really help you to understand how to position yourself and position your capital to be invested in these portfolios that will give you the kind of short to long term financial benefits that you're looking for. I love the land-based sector again because you have the primary level in which you can become an active or a passive investor, and you have the secondary level again where you can become either a passive or active investors in the secondary stage of land asset acquisition. Now, what exactly is the secondary stage of land asset acquisition? The secondary stage is when you take the land, and what you do, you add value to it. So you add real estate. In the case of real estate REITs, you can develop things like supermarkets, you can develop things like hospitals, you can develop things like commercial banks and insurance companies. All of these are secondary stages of land asset acquisition. And I want to talk a little bit more about this because I believe it's a very important subject matter for you to know as you position yourself to build wealth and position yourself to experience financial freedom. One of the advantages that you have with the secondary stage of land asset acquisition is that when you fully understand how to leverage these sectors, you can position yourself to become what we call you can build assets that will leverage the asset to give you performing income, meaning that the asset will become a performing asset, meaning that the asset is allowing you to generate income on a daily, monthly, yearly basis, a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And in terms of doing this, it can also be structured to give you not just one streams of income, but it can give you multiple streams of income. This is not all. In terms of the secondary land asset acquisition, you also get the opportunity to experience something that we call annual asset appreciation. And annual asset appreciation, again, gives you equity, and equity gives you leverage. Now, having said all of this, it's very important for you to also recognize that there are tremendous risks associated with land acquisition, meaning that you must put yourself in that position of strength to be able to do what we call the due diligence. Meaning that you must be able to do the complete paperwork in relation to land asset acquisition. And I want to give you a quick tip. Anyone that is going to say to you, you can acquire a piece of land in a week or two, look out for that. That may be a scammer. Because that exercise takes, and sometimes some time to be able to do your due diligence. Now, those are land acquisition, building acquisition, those things should be published and must be published in what we call a gazette. Alright, so it will be gazetted. So if there's anyone public that has any objection to that sales being made, they can table their objection during the period of gazette. So you need to understand this. In the absence of you understanding this, I want to recommend a couple of things. Get a professional financial advisor, a personal financial advisor, get a business consultant, or better yet, there's one agency that can do all of that due diligence for you, perhaps at a reasonable cost. You can make your purchase through the commercial bank, and if you decide to make your purchase through the commercial bank, I want to assure you it's perhaps going to be one of the safest things that you can do. There will be a legal fee attached to that, but the commercial bank is they have all the technical resources, all the legal personnel to go to the ground and ensure that a comprehensive due diligence analysis is done in relation to acquiring that piece of land for you. Later on I will talk about the advantage in all of this, because if you have the money to buy cash, all right, it makes sense when you understand financial intelligence to be able to leverage the commercial banks to acquire the land and to put a building there. Today's objective is not to go into all of that, but I trust that you've learned a lot from the program today. We have said that land asset acquisition is one of the fastest and smartest ways to position yourself to build generational wealth and intergenerational wealth. We have looked at some of the advantages between the primary land asset and secondary land asset, but we've also looked at the fact that invested in these sectors may carry some risk. You need to be aware of this. You need to ensure that your market intelligence is high. You need to ensure that you're working with a professional PFA, professional consultants, and you have a healthy relationship with your bankers to be able to run some of your land asset acquisition purchases through the commercial bank. And they will certainly ensure that the proper due diligence is done and you get the protection that you need. It's far better to perhaps invest $30,000 to $60,000 to go through that due diligence process with your commercial bank, as against losing hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in a faulty land asset acquisition. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the multiple best-selling author for several books, including Billionaire Codes and Manager's Toolkit. Now, in the event that you're looking at this program for the first time, I want to encourage you, if you have never subscribed to this program, if you find the information interesting, do give it a thumbs up, do subscribe to this program, and do share this information within your network. We would certainly need all the help and all the support from you to make this channel one of the fastest growing, highly informative channel that literally helps you to make informed and educated business decisions. Now, Venture Capital Inc. and Global Branding and Marketing, we have a mission. And that mission is to position our clients, employees, and strategic partners to understand, create, and leverage passive income cash flow, build multiple streams of income, leverage smart investment strategies, and build generational wealth. It's important for you to understand that financial intelligence goes beyond your ability to make money and maximize your disposable income. It addresses the issue of understanding the global financial system and leveraging this intelligence to create good debt cash flow, minimize existing debt financial portfolio while maximizing financial and equity capital gain. The understanding of the commercial financial sector, investment financial sector, and smart capital market are very important bodies of knowledge for you to have in the global landscape of financial intelligence. Again, I want to encourage you to reach out to us. We have a team of professional financial advisors, accountants, economists, business consultants, and very soon we're going to have a strong team of legal resources behind what we are doing to also give you the kind of technical support that you need as you position your business, your brand, your ideas to cash flow maximize. Again, my name is Gary Thompson. It has been a pleasure with you, being with you, and see you on the other side.